Credo Mutwa is a Sanazi, a Zulu Sanazi, which is a shaman, and he says that a long time ago a huge planet came into the area of our solar system and that it caused destruction and tidal waves, and it's known as Mushosho Nono. And he also says that it's due to return in the year of the Red Bull, and the year of the Red Bull is 2012.
Now, one of the things about 2012 which needs to be pointed out is actually that this galactic alignment is Earth-centric. It's us seeing the Sun in the galactic center from the position of the Earth. It's a symbolic event. It's not meant to be taken as literal fact. Like so many things about ancient civilizations and their obsession with the skies, it involves this element of symbolism. They were using this as a metaphor of giving us a truth. Perhaps, for example, that this pool, the galactic center, was once the birth of our sun. But it's a symbolic message. It hasn't to be taken literally. Far too many things in this day and age are taken literal, and that is a problem when we're trying to understand ancient civilizations and why they go on about 2012 or calendars or anything else for that matter.
For an understanding of how 2012 relates to the Maya calendar, we should refer to the seminal work of John Major Jenkins, who wrote a book called Maya Cosmogenesis 2012. So Jenkins shows that the site of Itzapa, which is a site where it's now thought that the Olmecs probably developed the calendar, on those inscriptions there are stories, pictorial stories from the Popol Vuh myth. This is a myth that comes from Quiché Maya, but it's now pretty well accepted by archaeologists that this goes way back into history and has formed a lot of the way of thinking of the Maya. Well, on these pictures, it's shown scenes from the Popol Vuh where the two hero twins descend into the underworld to resurrect their father, who is a solar deity. And, for example, there is a depiction of the solar deity coming out of the mouth of the jaguar toad, and that represents the mouth of the toad, and also sometimes the snake or the alligator represents what we now call the dark rift, the fat bulge in the Milky Way where there's a dark area of interstellar dust clouds. That to the Maya was Xibalba, the area where their shamans travelled to bring back knowledge from the ancestors. So that was seen as the mouth of one of these reptiles, and the god coming out of the mouth represents the winter solstice sun eclipsing the galactic centre area, which is on the galactic equator, and the cross that's shown underneath that represents the crossing of the ecliptic, the path of the sun, and the actual galactic equator.
By the early 1990s, Jenkins and McKenna became more and more convinced that the end date of the Mayan 13 Baktun cycle was linked with the conjunction of the Sun with the intersection of the ecliptic and the plane of the Milky Way. Such an alignment is a major astronomical event. One can only stand in admiration that the Maya were aware of this, centuries before science was able to confirm this fact. And what to make of the coincidence of our physicists' discovery of a black hole at the center of our galaxy and the Mayan belief in a great black hole in the very same spot?
Now, there are several implications which we need to take into account with this one. First of all, a black hole is of course a singularity, and second, the symbolism has worked its way into Mayan mythology.
There is an incomplete inscription on the Tortuguero Monument 6 that records this 13th Baktun end date. This is the only known inscription that mentions 2012. The end date is also carved on the walls of the Temple of Inscriptions at Palenque, as well as on the so-called Creation Monument at Quirigua. But this is the previous instant of it, in 3114 BC, the last creation, while 2012 is the completion of the current creation and hopefully the start of the next one.
It's the only monument or inscription from the Classic era that's known of that mentions the year 2012 and the end of the 13 Bacton cycle. So what the Turuguero monument says about 2012 is that in the 13th Bacton, on 4 Ahau, 3 Kankin, that is 3 calendars cross-referencing one date, which we can translate as 21st December 2012.
To measure a long count date, there was a position for recording the number of days, up to 19. Then if there were 20 or more, multiples of 20 were recorded in the adjacent position. This is similar to our decimal system, except that it is 20-based, or vegesimal. The 20-day cycle is called a yunal. 18 yunals make a tune of 360 days. 20 tunes make a katun. 20 katuns make a baktun, and 13 baktuns make up the era from 3114 BC to 2012. A total of 1,872,000 days, or around 5,125 years. However, even longer cycles were used. For example, 20 baktuns is a piktun. 20 piktuns is a kalabtun. 20 kalabtuns is a chinchiltun. And 20 chinchiltuns is an alutun, or 65 million tunes, roughly 64 million years. The long count date of the start point in 3114 BC is written as the completion of 13 baktuns, with 0 katuns, 0 tunes, 0 yunals, 0 days. On the winter solstice of 2012, the same date is repeated for the first time in a span of 5,125 solar years. So it's a fact that after 5,125 years, the 13 Baktun cycle of the Mayan calendar ends. The question is, will a new cycle begin? Just as our clocks keep ticking every year on the 1st of January, or whether something else entirely will happen. McKenna used this symbolism when he wrote, "Over millennia, the Maya observed the drama of the approach of Father-Son toward the vagina of Mother Sky, and though the cosmic event itself was calculated to occur many centuries in the future, the Maya made the future conjunction the anchor point of their machinery of cosmic timekeeping. Their myth chose our time as the quintessential moment of creation. A year before his own death, McKenna wrote how the world was perhaps not meant to end, but was to be born on December 21, 2012. This coincides with John Major Jenkins' conclusion that the ancient Maya understood something about the nature of the cosmos and the spiritual evolution of humanity that has gone unrecognized in our own worldview. This understanding involves our alignment with the center of our galaxy, our cosmic center and source, and identifies 2012 AD as a time of tremendous transformation and opportunity for spiritual growth, a transition from one world age to another.